Alright, well, it's not so much late night, I guess. But, hey. That's okay. We're still going to kind of do it to it here. Go ahead and X that out. Ah! So, yeah, we be streaming, though. I don't know if anyone's watching it at all. Probably not. Yeah, I got 0 watching right now. That's okay. That's alright.
That's the usual.
Yeah, pretty much. And this isn't fancy stuff. This is me just, I turn on the camera and then I do things. Alright, so, what we're doing today, we have a machine upgrade. Because right now, if we go to CPU-Z, and we wait for CPU-Z, and we wait for some more for CPU-Z, there's an update. We'll get it later. We're running this Intel Core here, James. Yep. For those of you who are watching after the fact, James, friend, co-worker, guy I went to college with, he's participating in the observing of the benchmarks and the upgrades. And Watson, you have something on your nose.
That's skin, mostly.
No, it's like a... is that... Yeah, I guess it's up your nose. Is that like a dry booger?
Dude.
Yeah. See it? It's like...
Dude,
I don't know what the...
I don't even know.
Now I touch the keyboard. There you go.
I mean, to be honest, the thing does look kind of dingy already.
Dude, that thing is so old. But this is a PS2 mouse. What? It's optical, so...
I didn't know they made mice for the PS2. Millennials, right?
Though, I do have an adapter right now. I have hooked to that uses a DualShock 2. So that's my gamepad for the XP machine.
It's pretty spicy.
Yeah, try it. It works really nicely. Yeah. It's pretty slick. Anyway, this is the chip we're messing with right now. So it's an Intel Celeron. It's got a whopping 1 core, 1 thread. It's about 2.8 megahertz. It's got a frontside bus of about 400 megahertz with a, is that 28 times multiplier? Is that really that much? Yeah, I guess that would be how it multiplies out. But honestly, it's a pretty slow. It's a slow chip. It's a slow architecture. That's what Jess had in her system. So we're upgrading that to this Pentium 4 that's in here, which is actually very similar to that Windows 2000 box we got at work. So this thing, let's see here, it's a 3.2 gigahertz. It's got a 800 megahertz frontside bus, which is double the frontside bus, so fewer multipliers, and also hopefully reduces the heat that's consumed. And it's got a 512 kilobit level 2 cache.
Hey,
so yeah, money. As opposed to the 128 kilobit cache we have here.
Cache, money.
Which I assume you remember from virtual class and stuff how important cache is for a CPU. So 4 times the level 2 cache. Kind of important. We're gonna need it. So let's get to it. So what I want to do here though is I want to run some benchmarks real quick to kind of see where the system is at now. Upgrade it. Hopefully upgrade works. So we're not all sad, because that would have been yesterday. The whole BIOS thing just meant nothing. Yeah. And then benchmark again to see where we're at, right? So let's do it to it. I downloaded a couple old versions of 3D Mark. 3D Mark 2000, 3D Mark 2005. Nice big differences.
The Wayback machine?
No, actually Future Mark hosts them.
Oh.
It gives you CD keys and usernames and everything to use for it.
Oh.
Yeah. So thanks, Future Mark.
Thanks, guys, for giving me these dusty old programs.
And we're just going to run the default benchmark here.
Hey, it's a bench. Thank Mark.
And I think what this hopefully will do as well is give me an idea of...
Just cut
oh, yeah. Because that is... so part of what we're seeing... So on the TV I have... Because this is a TV I'm using for like the monitor. 1024 by 768 for whatever reason... It doesn't line it up quite right on the monitor. Like, it still gets a 4:3, but then as you see, it shifts the whole image to the left.
On the street, it looks fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, it's auto-stretching it out. Right now, I have the capture window set up for that.
Gotcha.
So it's adjusting the aspect ratio automatically, because before I put it like in a small corner.
So I notice this says Game 1 Helicopter. Is this just like a pre-designed thing that it runs through?
Uh-huh.
Or? Oh. Because Helicopter looks like a pretty fun game, I'm not going to lie.
Sure. I wonder if I have any helicopter games here. I have some like serious flight sim games like Falcon 3.0 for DOS.
You have to have like a whole airplane layout.
In a lot of ways, it would probably help. But this thing it even has a book, like a book, on how to do aerial combat. So if I'm flying a jet, and I want to know how to blow someone up in the jet, and how to maneuver and stuff, and get them caught in loops and things, this teaches you how to do it. That's how serious this sim is. It's ridiculous.
It's like if you flew a real jet, if you knew how to use the
Right,
controls.
dude, for real. Let's see if I can dig it out real quick while this is running.
Oh my gosh.
This is got. Because again, we're in the. This is all Chris Wheelhouse.
We're in the time machine.
Right. This is the cool stuff.
Yeah.
And this is actually the benchmark we used to run all the time back on our old systems. So it's not in here. It's probably in the closet somewhere. Well, maybe it's in. No, I don't think it's in this either. Okay, so it's in another box. I don't feel like getting out right now, but it's like a big, thick thing. It has like tactical map stuff over real life locations. Because again, it's supposed to be a flight sim.
Dude.
So it's like you want to learn how to do like Air Force combat stuff.
Yeah.
This is a start to at least get an idea what it's all
look
about.
at those frames though.
Look at all them frames.
Hey. Ooh. Ooh.
And again, just as a reminder, what we actually have. It's actually the frames per second aren't terrible for this system. Again, as a reminder, this is the Radeon 9800 Pro running at. Well, I forget what the actual speed of the GPU is, but it has 256 megabytes of video memory. This has got 2 gigs of DDR RAM. I forget what the actual frequency is, but I know the actual frequency has been. Derek's like, oh my god, Chris has a hostage. Yeah, Derek, this is James. He's a co-worker, friend, classmate from college. He's tagging along for benchmarking these systems. We're benchmarking the blink. Derek's like, blink twice if you're there against your will. But yeah, so yeah, right now, Derek, we are benchmarking the XP machine with a few different benchmarks before actually installing the new CPU. Then we're gonna run the benchmarks again to see how it compares.
Oh man, it's going fast.
So fast.
Super fast.
But the frames per second at 7.5. What?
Oh.
So right now we're running 3D Mark 2000 on this system just to see how it stacks up. We're running 3D Mark 2000, 3D Mark 2005, Half-Life 2 Lost Coast, Far Cry 2's Nerdgasm. Far Cry 2's benchmark, if I can figure out how to run it, and then there's a Counter-Strike Source stress test I want to run. So a lot of Source engine stuff. I might run the Doom 3 one as well. I'll also have to see quickly how to actually run it. Yeah, it's a lot of...
Oh man, is this that one thing, Cirque du Soleil? Is that what it looks like?
That's a Cirque du Soleil, yes.
Yeah.
That's a Cirque du Soleil.
Oh, okay.
Olay.
Yeah, olay.
Look at all them polys. It's so much poly. So much for your pocket. Poly pocket. Oh. That's how you know he's against his will, 'cause he's laughing at my jokes.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah, you've heard of Oxycontin, now get ready for Polycotton.
Oh, whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
So,
Look at all them textures.
oh boy. It's like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Now, the only downside right now, too, is that this is streaming at 30 frames, so you still get a little bit of jitter with some stuff.
Yeah.
But right now, my hardware can't take doing 60 frames a second. I tried 1080p, 60 frames. Once the VGA source comes in, OBS just comes to its knees. There might be better software out there to use.
4K, 60 frames per
I'm
second.
gonna stream at 4K.
Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Mad onion? More like sad onion.
Ho ho ho. So awesome. This is gonna be so awesome. The greatest thing ever.
Best. God. Yeah.
Every time I smell this rag, my butt hurts when I wake up.
Whoa,
It's so weird.
No.
It's always so awkward. I don't know.
Oh, gee, how do I explain this one to the missus?
Alright, so first benchmark is done. 4,448 3D marks. That is what we end up with.
What significance does that have?
It is a arbitrary, just a measurement, some sort of unit that 3D Mark uses. So it only really works when you compare it
to other 3D marked things. Yeah, that's kind
of pretty much. But that's okay because we were going to run this a few times.
Okay.
It's like we're running the 9800 Pro 16-bit colors, 16-bit textures. Okay, so so it's kind of on the low end for testing the video card itself because it should support 32-bit. But that's okay. We'll deal with that. That'll at least give us some consistency. So that's what we got for that 3D Mark. So someone write that down, whatever that was.
4448.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's 4448 or 4446, but it sounds like 8. I think is the right answer. All right, so now we're gonna go to 3D Mark 05, which should be significantly more demanding on this system. I'm also hoping to make this will be a good benchmark to see if. All right, thanks, Derek. We'll keep that up in the chat. Mouse pointer over the main window and click the right button to open the right menu. It contains actual. Look, that's cool. Okay, so we got game tests selected, CPU tests, feature tests, batch size tests. No. You know, we're just going to keep it with that. I'm hoping this will stress the other components in the board on this to see if there's anything that might screw up, more or less.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Like Chris.
Yeah, like me.
Yeah.
But let's just run it. Straight up.
Oh, dude, it's like a PlayStation 1 game.
Whoa. Even... I love loading screens.
That's the best. Loading screen? I think you mean loading scream.
Ho, ho. I'm screaming for this benchmark. Oh, here we go. You see that? Just...
Oh, dude, the chop.
This is the slap chop. Slap chop.
That's pretty good, man.
The chop is real. We're at about 14, 15 frames, sometimes dropping to 13.
Blech.
This is good, though. We need the demanding tests, because then when we swap out the CPU, we can hopefully see if that alleviates some bottlenecks. Because I'm assuming the Celeron's got to be a bottleneck here. About anything that's somewhat demanding on the system I see, it just 100% utilization every time. It is not a very strong chip. It's good for some general XP stuff, but this old hardware is too crappy for the old hardware I'm looking for. We need better old hardware. And everyone's a Space Marine. Everyone. So awesome. Huge.
Stop telling me how to play a game and just let me play a game.
I would like to play a game. Pew 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 pew.
Dude, this reminds me of the time I tried to play Mass Effect 2 on like a $200 HP laptop from Walmart from like a Black Friday sale.
So was that the laptop you used to use in class?
No.
Oh, I remember you running games on that thing.
The very first the very first laptop I brought in was like the silver one that I had was decent enough. It could run most games on medium low. It wasn't great, but you know I could average about 30 to 40 frames, so I was okay with that.
To me, 30 frames was always pretty good, but then apparently people are like 60 frames is great. Now they're like
60 frames is great.
Now they're like 120 frames. That's what we really want. I'm like, like you can't even see that. There are physical limitations now. You can't upgrade your eyes.
I mean, you can, but. Come on, man.
5 frames a second. Let's go.
Oh, dude.
That is what I am talking about. Exactly.
Somebody get the flame and the 100 emojis.
This is bringing my system to its knees. Bow down before the king of benchmark. 3D Mark 05.
I think it hit a 3 there for a second.
This is good though. It's what we want. This is what we need. That's a tree stump. It's got eyes glowing. What? Oh, it's just a firefly the whole time.
You would not believe your eyes. Shining firefly. Fell asleep. Open there. Teardrops everywhere.
Sing it.
Yeah, stir.
Sing it. Airships. Those are in games.
Holy fucking shit, it's a dinosaur.
Jesus Christ, oh my god. Yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
When it's rendering a lot less distance stuff, it works good. Oh, there it goes.
Hey, this card isn't so bad.
Oh, we're like 17 frames a second there a little bit. We were rocking it.
Hey, Chris. You didn't tell me you were building a train, what with all this chugging?
Oh. I'm building a train because this thing's stacked. Smokestacks, James.
Yeah, there's smoke, alright. No, seriously, you should get that checked out.
This thing's cooking, that's why. Cooking with gas now.
Cooking with gas.
Please. You're just jealous of my XP machine. It's so good. I'm trying to tell everyone build Windows XP machines. They're the best. They last forever.
Excuse me,
Whoa, wait, we're at 640 by 480.
What?
So we've lowered resolution a little bit, which is, as you can see, James, the TV supports a lot better.
Well, thank you. But, you know.
That could have been 640 by 480. This has to be... Oh, Lord. What's the test on this one? Because it's not doing... Look at this, James. I get maybe one frame.
It's actually a slideshow! Yes!
This is what slideshow looks like.
Yes!
Oh.
Dude, the timer. Oh, dude, 0 frames per second.
Yes.
No! He wasn't ready!
You were not prepared. No.
Oh my gosh.
This system is so good.
It's the best system ever made.
The ladies ask for it. The ladies get it.
Chris, I'm not sure we're on the same page here. I don't even think we're in the same book.
James, I'm a married man. I know what the ladies like.
You know what one lady likes. And even then, sometimes I get a little concerned.
The Windows XP machine is the way to go.
Yeah, okay.
One can show up to a date with, like, flowers, right? Anyone can do that.
But
you do the candies, the sweet things, listening, blah, 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 whatever.
Oh my God.
Emotional support is not what's important. It's about the frames.
It's about
Windows
the
XP machine. That's what I'm talking about. Socket,
Okay.
you go, socket 478. Moist maker right there. That's what I'm talking about.
Moist maker. Okay, Chris.
That's what I'm talking about. These are pro tips.
Somebody needs to take away your cider, my buddy.
These are pro tips, sir. I'm
Yeah.
handing out lessons. People pay for these lessons. I'm giving them away for free. I'm like on the radio saying, order now and get my free book. $15 value. Please.
It just dies. That's pretty excellent.
What's it gonna run now? What you gonna do now, brother?
Jump off a bridge.
Will this one run? Eventually. These might be the CPU tests also.
Yeah.
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 Oh, this one takes forever too. This is the guy shooting the chain gun, right?
Yeah, something like that. Action space adventure battle in 3D.
You ever go into space with a gun? How about a bigger gun? Bang, bang, boom.
This summer, Action Commando with Gun and Sweaty Friends 3. Coming soon. In June of 2018. Of 2019 in August.
I play football.
In theaters now.
Keep it up. Keep it up. You just jealous. I gotcha. You jealous too. Everyone's jealous.
Preview trailer for 2020.
This is a preview trailer for like 1998. This is what $10 hairs get you. This. Exactly. The one thing I didn't really think about too hard. I want to run all these benchmarks. Benchmarks take time.
Yeah, sure do, Chris.
You sure do.
And how do you feel now?
I feel like
It make me feel like
gonna dance the night away. Is that all the tests? Have we done it? Is that it? Yes, okay. So we've completed the test. We are at 2,803 3D marks. Derek, can you post that up on the chat? 2,803 3D marks. If you don't mind, put like 3D Mark 05 on next to it or something like that. That'd be super duper. You'd be a friend forever. Okay, so we got that. Now, let's run Lost Coast. Actually, I already have it open here. Which I believe you can just run the benchmark after you press play or something like that. I don't think it's too much to get it running. Thank you, Derek.
Chase you, stupid.
Now, at least the source engine stuff should run a lot better on this system. Like on Half-Life 2 at least, runs really nicely on this. Now, Lost Coast, well, actually, Lost Coast added in some other graphical features too, I believe.
Yeah.
So that's... It might actually be more demanding on this system. At least Half-Life 2 Vanilla runs pretty okay. I'm not sure what resolution Lost Coast is set for right now, though, because it looks... Well, that's probably because of the TV. So at least it comes up full on the stream. So that's good.
Wonderful.
Video stress test. This is what we want. Let's do it. This is what we came here for. And actually, I might just do this and not do the Counter-Strike source stress test because that's all source engine. I think one source engine benchmark will be enough.
Hey, you saw someone, you saw someone. You played Half-Life 1, you played Left 4 Dead 2.
You beat some boxes up, you go on an event. It's all the same.
Played Left 4 Dead 2, you played Dota 2.
Man, we tried to play Left 4 Dead 2.
Did you hear that there's a Source 2?
A source engine 2?
I believe so, yeah. For Dota 2.
Oh, okay.
I think that's the only thing they've used it on. It's the only thing that's modern. Everything else is kind of a few years old, at least.
Hmm. Okay.
Ha! Watson, who told you you could be a dog?
You are a pup dog, I will admit. You're a good puppy. There you go. There you go, Watson.
Hey, Chris. Chris, look, you got half a message a minute.
I know.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty low resolution too. I mean, you can see all the jaggy goodness in the bridges and such.
Dude, shut up. I'm low resolution.
Girl, you're so low res.
Oh my god, yeah, like, you aren't even rendered
Dang, look at
480p.
Look at all them polys. Oh my god. But yeah, the machine I had when I had this video card before, it was a 939 socket. It had a much more impressive CPU. Like, yeah.
What?
So this is probably the close to the lowest end XP machine I've actually had.
Huh.
In terms of like CPU. Like, yeah. Celeron is not a beefy chip at all. No, I mean, maybe just his Actually, I don't know. Maybe just his laptop that I've used has been pretty low spec.
Yeah.
That's also because of the video in it, too. It's not super great. I gotta keep you down, though, bub. Sorry. You can't be cute in my lap right now. Something loaded up. But I was seeing that Source engine with Half-Life 2, I think it's supported back to DirectX 6. And it runs pretty good, but then they cut out features and some distance for object rendering, things like that.
Screw features. Who needs them? Oh, that's what it is. Okay. That explains a lot.
Helicopters. The average frame rate during the stress test was 19.71 frames per second. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and post it up myself. Just I don't know what to fix that. Almost. Huh. Alright, let's just go with so 19.71 frames per second. Half-Life 2 Lost Ghost. Oh. And that's the camera. Does that. Whoop. Alright?
Yep, I forgot your chair tilt's back.
Chair tilt's back.
Thanks.
No problem. Glad I could help. Thank you. Alright, so that was Half-Life 2.
More like half-wife. Oh no.
Oh, what? Can't you tell James isn't married?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Now, Far Cry 2. God. Let's launch the benchmark tool. That makes it easy. I like it when I can just launch it from there and be done with it.
Yeah, for no reason.
Yeah, I'd rather not have to play Far Cry 2. Now people like the game. I've already been through this. I've already been through my hate of Half-Life or Far Cry 2.
Have you?
Yeah. Have you played it?
No.
Well, if you ever need to feel very well rested, you're like, oh, I just fell asleep. I don't know why. Far Cry 2 will help you out.
Why couldn't I just play Skyrim? That's the same effect.
You slay dragons in Skyrim.
Yeah, but the game's not fun.
What? I'm actually playing Skyrim, so
It's
it's
alright. I mean, it's literally... I don't see the point of releasing a million different versions of it. But to say it's the worst game I've ever played would be a lie.
Sure.
To say it's a game that I would want to go back and spend 400 hours in, not even with mods.
Right.
Yeah.
I know, I've had a hard time getting into a lot of the Elder Scrolls games just because of the time commitment.
Yeah, I will say I had an easier time getting into Oblivion.
Setup can I continue because this version of .NET Framework is incompatible with the previously installed version. I might have a newer version.
Those forced .NET
Oh,
installs.
Punkbuster, okay. Well, that's the thing, is I have .NET Framework on here already, various versions of it.
Right.
Hopefully everything still runs fine. But I remember Punk Buster. That was a thing.
Oh, no, it always has like really good music.
That's stuck in my head now.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So I was like, I remember Morrowind. Oh, Skyrim. It's kind of remixing some of the Morrowind music. I got you.
Yeah. More like. Fuck.
More like Morrowind.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh man, I'm so clever.
Windows.
More Windows.
Did you ever hear that? There's a guy who used to work at ISD.
No.
Where he called Windows, and then started making snoring noises. He's like, we should be using Linux all the time. Windows. I'm like, yeah. He had some Windows hate in him.
Yeah.
Windows hate .1.
Oh my god. Yeah. Like those people who are like, if a game doesn't run in Linux, I don't want to play it. Yeah. Well, good to have fun with your sad life, buddy.
He's the guy that's like, are we using Mint Linux yet? Like, dang, what do you want? I don't want that corporate Red Hat crap. Get me off the grid. Like, it's like, you know, if we're all a bunch. If there's the guy wearing the tinfoil hat, James, you know that guy?
Yeah.
This is the guy who won't wear the tinfoil because it's too corporate for him. He's the one that's using Mint Linux.
Oh, man.
Alright, let's just launch it, see what happens. Far Cry 2. Will it run? I hope so.
Will it blend?
It's running at 1680 by 1050. Okay. I wonder if it requires a CD key if I, Well, I guess part of it was I probably should have... I'm going to close that. So, one thing I didn't think about, James.
Yeah?
I'm streaming here, right? I just displayed my whole CD key for Far Cry 2 up on the stream.
I don't know if it matters that much.
Probably not for Steam because it's already registered.
Yeah.
Okay, we have audio. Where's the video?
Where is the video, Chris?
Is it just going to jump on at some point?
All I can say is working as intended. God.
Having a good time there?
Having a great time. Fighting something that's several levels higher and has a bunch of mods that give them extra strength that, well, they're, 100% HP is dumb.
There must be something going on.
Something's happening, it just...
What? Why isn't anything running on the video?
Maybe resolution? It's always possible.
But the resolution should at least run on both still. Like one or the other.
Hey, DirectX problem?
Man, we're on DirectX 9.0 C.
Yeah,
like that's...
What if it's not...
Far Cry 2 wasn't that good. It should support DirectX 9.
Or more, DirectX 9 should support Far Cry 2. I don't know, man. There's gotta be some reason.
Yeah, obviously, yes.
Yeah.
There's always a reason why things happen.
Maybe you just fried your card.
That would be so lame.
Yeah.
I'd be so bummed.
I also would be.
I'd be like, well, benchmark complete. We ruined the computer. I was already prepared for that in case, like with the BIOS stuff and all that. Silent it. It sounds really cool.
Yeah, it does.
So good. This is actually an audiobook, the game. We have like an author coming on later on. He's going to make a bunch of different voices for all the characters. Audible's now on Steam.
Steamable.
I don't think you understand my task, said Pete in a fit of rage. Nancy looked at him, distraught, but yet intrigued. His muscular figure glistened in the wind.
Glistened in the wind.
Glistened in the wind. That's glistening
Glisten
wind.
is such a bad word. Like, anytime I hear that word, I just think of like a really wet crap pile, and I'm just like, no, avoid using the word glisten at all opportunities.
Glisten. What was it? It was there's a buddy of mine, he hated the word poontang. I was like,
to be honest,
poontang. He's like, eh.
Yeah. I knew it was like an uncomfortable amount of people who hated the word moist.
Moist.
Yeah, it was like less than 10, but more than 5.
I think it's repeating itself.
Maybe you're missing a QTE, dude. Oh wait, it was a benchmark the whole time. I'm an asshole.
Oh, you didn't realize it was a benchmark the whole time?
No, I thought you would actually launch the game because I wasn't paying attention.
No. See, that's why you gotta pay attention. These are all benchmarks, man. I'm afraid playing this game. I ain't playing Far Cry 2. I tried playing Far Cry 2. Oh, it's in my docs. Okay. All my games. Okay. So, benchmarks, results. This is just terrible. Terrible. I don't think it actually even ran. Like, it ran, but it's reading 0 frames per second. Because here you got the frame ID, frames per second the last second.
Yeah.
And then, it just has it as like a, oh, ew, gross. This is just a, CSV. Is it going to give me like a final result here? Well, we'll do it like this for now. I mean, I think it's less than a frame per second the last second. Yeah, something's up with that benchmark. That ain't working so well.
Yeah.
Gross. Let me check out game settings here real quick. Let's try this at a different resolution. We're gonna go to. Let's stick with 1024 by 768. DirectX 9. See, it supports DirectX 9. James.
Yeah, Chris? Come on, man. Just trying to have a good time.
James.
Just trying to have a good time. Just trying to have a good time. Come on. Just, you know, for no reason.
Description. Oh, see, it has 3 different loops. It runs it 3 times. That's why. Okay. 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 We're gonna just try this again real quick. Oh look! Oh look! It even does a little. Hey! Look at that.
It's pretty incredible.
So instead, it got 9.89 frames per second. All right, that's pretty cool. You get graphs, but we're not gonna go by those graphs.
Graphs.
I don't want them graphs.
More like graphs.
We'll see if 1024 by 768 actually has us render something on the screen. Yeah, nothing's running.
Yeah.
Or at least there's no video here. Cancel benchmark. So we got about 15 at least on the. That's okay. I'm not sure why there wasn't any video running on there, but maybe that'll change if we. See here, that's at 734, 742. So we want to get rid of that guy. Oh, that's cool. We still got the graph there, so we'll just use that graph when we do another one here. Okay, so we got that. We got Half-Life 2. I think Doom 3 was just the last one, wasn't it? Look up how to do that real quick. Oh, because I am silly and I forgot to look it up before this. I am super prepared. Doom 3. Benchmark. Okay, so here's how it's run. I see how it's done, son. I'm gonna pop in Doom 3. Yeah, see James' mistake. He was like, "You want to get some dinner?" I'm like, "Sure, sounds great." Hey, I was gonna do this little thing at home. You want to join me? Now he's stuck here. You got suckered. I mean, it could very well be that there's some compatibility issues with the Radeon 9800 Pro with this. I mean, I don't know for sure. Dude, it's Doom 3, yo. Rawr. Doom 3, rawr.
Oh no.
Now, one possibility too is that, you know, this was a video card I had to repair previously.
Ah.
It doesn't mean there wasn't anything else that was slightly wrong with it. I don't really know for sure. Besides, like, having some things that wouldn't run for whatever reason. Like, Doom 3 will run. I've ran it. I don't know. Okay, so I think it's going to be Control-Alt tilde. Okay. I'm going to do time demo 1.
Congratulate. You done it.
I forgot to turn on a draw frames per second too. I gotta put that on. I'll do that once I get back to the console here. I assume I can pull up the console during the time demo.
Oh, cool. Got Ifrit. He's a summon, and he does things.
Draw FPS. What? Okay. Maybe it'll give us some frames per second at the end of it. That wasn't doing it. But as you can see, I mean, James, look, I mean, it runs.
Yeah, sure.
Not super quickly, but
Gosh, Chris.
better than Far Cry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll give it that.
Bang. This also hits 3 of the major engines. We got Crytek engine stuff. We have Source engine stuff. We have Intech stuff. We don't. I mean, I didn't install UT 2004 yet or anything, so trying out Unreal Engine. Not really. All right, 21.7 frames per second. Okay. And then for Far Cry 2. Alright, so those are the benchmarks we're going to run today. So that's with the Celeron. Now let's hope we can actually install the Pentium 4. Hopefully there won't be any issues whatsoever. Everything's going to be fine. It'll go in. This is on the Northwood core, which means it's going to be a lot more energy efficient than the Prescott core, which eats up a lot of power. We're talking about, like, at times a 20 watt difference in power consumption. It was a pretty hungry little socket here. So yeah, let's shut this puppy off. I'll shut this off and bring it back to the 98 machine just to have something to look at. Of course, this will probably close Steam first. Now to shut down again, because that's the way XP works with Steam. Yep.
Oh man, I missed that noise.
Right? We'll get plenty of it. Now we're bringing it back to the 98 machine. We're pushing it to the limit. Push it to the limit. Push it. I won't lie, if Far Cry 2 never runs on this machine, I'm okay with that. There are some games I can live without playing. That's one of them. That is one of them. I guess I could have run maybe the Far Cry 1 benchmark. I'm sure there is one for it. Man, Derek, did you ever play Far Cry 1? Or I guess anyone on the stream? Have you guys ever played Far Cry 1? James, did you ever play Far Cry 1?
Chris.
You might have.
Listen, man. The answer's gonna have to be no. It's gonna be no every time, baby. I didn't know that attack could fly. Who told that attack it could fly?
I told it's like, Tank, you got one job. It's like the roll. I'm like, nah, that's not your job. Damn. Oh, there we go. You are not an easy thing to get off. That's what she said. So, I'm going to go get paper towels and rubbing alcohol.
That is also what she said?
Yay. Dave beat it. Dave, was the end part of Far Cry a little bit annoying to you? Like, to me, the whole action-oriented, like, latter sixth of the game or whatever was a bit of a letdown because, like, all the stealth stuff I was doing, I didn't get to do anymore. Did you have the same experience with that? See what he say. Whole game sucked. I'll be beat because I started it.
I mean,
that's a thing. That is blunt and to the point.
Yeah?
That game sucks. That's like being on a bad date. Dave, you just described being on a bad date. That's what that was.
I finished the date because I didn't want to just leave.
Yeah.
I already paid for the food.
Someone had to pay the bill.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think the easiest way to get there we go. Okay. So James, I don't know if you've ever seen the socket before, but actually it's two side brackets. to take off the heatsink.
That is different.
Now, key here is to go pull this off without. There we go. It's still fresh paste on there from when I put the Celeron on there before, so it's not dried on or anything.
I see.
But that's our Celeron right there. Goop and all. We'll get that cleaned up later. But we're going to clean up the Pentium 4. Ta-da! Just to make sure we have a nice clean surface.
Taught a rock how to think.
That's right.
After putting electricity inside it.
I'm going to build my big old plastic metal machine and
Yeah.
pull the junk in it. But yeah, Dave, the other day I was talking about how when I first got the Radeon 9800 Pro and some other newer parts, went over to your apartment in BG and built a new computer. The first thing I ran on it was Hexen. You're like, why'd you buy all these new parts just to play Hexen? Alright, see you, Dave. Let's see here. So, see a little triangle? Goes to that little odd corner there.
Yeah. That standard hasn't changed, has it?
Not a whole lot. Though, what I like about a lot of the newer Intel chips, they actually don't use pins, but they're just contacts. Is there any bent pins on this thing? I should check that out real quick. I'm not seeing anything bent. Just not going in right away. There we go.
Yeah, this processors ought to just snap in, huh?
Yeah, I guess. I was hoping to do more of a fall in than that, but oh well. It'll be alright. It still went in the socket.
Yeah.
Now we're going to clean up the heatsink here.
That's some good ass sink.
It is. It's the stock heatsink. It's not copper. See, now you got, like, you have to go to Europe to get your awesome thermal grease and copper with copper pipe heat sinks and all that. There are ones for this, but I haven't had the need to get it yet. I might replace the video card heat sink at some point because that's pretty weak sauce. And that card does get hot. I have one I can probably... I have one I might be able to throw on there. I don't know if I have if I have all the mounts for that card. But I tried putting it on a low profile. I tried putting this heatsink on a low profile video card before, and it just looked ridiculous. And I couldn't get it to fit in the case because there was stuff in front of the board, in front of the PCI slot. Put a little bit of our Arctic Silver on there. Okay, Arctic Silver's on. Just like that. Our nice clean heat sink. Everything but the kitchen heat sink. Ha! Let me just put it on there like that. And put our brackets back on. Come on. Okay, that's on. Now, the first question I'm going to have with this is still the stock core that came with the Celeron. So, with the power consumption of the Northwood chip, I think we'll be okay in terms of thermals. But, you know, this is still a higher end chip. So, as I use this machine, I'm going to kind of pay, once the thermal grease and everything sort of sets in and gets heated up and everything, I'm going to check my thermals in the system to see if I need to invest in, say, more... I do want to get some more fans or some better fans for this system. But overall, just see, do I need to start getting some aftermarket heat sinks and such to improve. And I'm not going to put the side back on right now because if I need to change this chip back out, I don't want to have to take that side off again. In theory, this should all work, but that may not be the case. Let's find out. Okay, got that. Got this.
Look.
That. Gamepad, of course. I didn't know you need a gamepad. Get my network adapter. I said get my network adapter. There we go. And power on. Now let's try it. We'll see if we hear any diagnostic beeps or anything. Hopefully we get picture. Oh, we got picture. Reads the chip. Okay. Probably one of the old fans. I can double check here, make sure I don't have anything like touching. No, I think we're good. I have a number of fans in there. But, hey, the CPU reads just fine, so the BIOS update was totally worth it.
Good.
I'll have to check to see if I can adjust any of the time. That'll be another thing, too, is checking the speed on the memory and the timings on that. Because this is a different front-side bus, I might be able to get memory that can work in sync with that memory. I should get faster performance on the machine. So that'll be another small improvement I can try later. ACP something, multiprocessor something or other. Let's get all those devices hooked up. In the meantime, I'm going to clean off this Celeron. Yeah, we'll go ahead and give this a reboot.
That's not what I wanted to do at all.
Yes, please. Please reboot. What I was thinking about doing as well, James,
Yeah.
that case I got from Micro Center has a lot more slots and holes and things for fans. So I might just switch these out, the boards and what I have in each machine. So I don't have many fans in the Windows 98 machine to really use.
Yeah.
So I might end up giving the crappier case to the 98 machine and pick up some new fans and such to improve the airflow. Keep this thing nice and cool.
There's nothing cool about this thing.
I'm sorry, awesome. You're right. My bad. It's not just cool, it's awesome. You're right.
Hey, there you go.
You're right.
Totally what I meant.
Totally. But again, this saves me from having to buy an expensive motherboard to support this chip because I can use OEMs and reflash the BIOS.
Hey, Macarena.
Because science, because this is how technology actually works.
Fuck rocks.
Is that what you do with the rocks, James?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Fair. All right. Well, once everything is booted and everything looks good,
the good old boot.
First of all, this should be 2 threads. So we got 2 threads now, which is amazing.
You're amazing.
That might improve a bunch of performance overall just with that alone. Let's check out what CPU-Z says. And we're not going to update yet. But yeah, now we got Pentium 4 Northwood core. Again, we got a much higher front side bus, lower multiplier, of course. There might be some tweaks we can do with that chip. I have to look into the BIOS to see if we can. If we can overclock this thing, we might be able to even pinch a little more performance out of it if we really want to. There's some better chips we can get as well, but they'll start getting into more of the pricier price range because this is like $10, something like that. But again, a much larger level 2 cache at 512 kilobits. That's a lot, or sorry, kilobytes, not bits. Kilobytes. So much better there. So we got an 8 kilobyte level 1 cache. I didn't check what the level 1 cache was for the Celeron. I'll have to double check the stream to see. Same board, of course, same memory, of course, same graphics and everything else. Oh, I can't even benchmark the CPU on that. Dang. Oh well. But let's get started. We've successfully put the chip in. That was easy. I'm glad. I like easy stuff. Nothing complicated. I am happy with that. Now we get to compare and contrast one system, 2 different processors. And this is also without factoring in what kind of bottlenecks actually exist with my other parts. So, I mean, this isn't going to be the most optimal way of measuring these chips. It gives us an idea. As long as 3D Mark loads at some point. Any day now, 3D Mark 2000. Any day now. Please. Can't remember, did it take this long before?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Did it do that thing where you clicked it and it didn't actually register?
Possible. It's possible.
Definitely did it that time.
This system's gonna be a butthead to me now for some reason. It's gonna be a giant butthead.
You actually put in a slower process. But James, that's not how that... Yes, it is.
That's not how math works.
Yes, it is, Chris. Come on. That's uncomfortable.
Well, we got a little more noise too because of...
Can you run anything?
Should be able to.
Try like Minesweeper or something.
Let's try 05 here.
Hey!
05 runs.
Macarena.
I'll check processes to see if there's anything running in the background that's inhibiting real quick. I'd rather run 2000 first, but we'll see.
Hey, macaroni.
I mean, there shouldn't be any issues.
What's the point of a round chain? It's just the no. That's stupid. Who told you you could be a thing? That's dumb. You're dumb.
Close 2000. Punk Buster's running. Let's turn off Punk Buster.
More like Dunk Buster.
Oh, snap. I wonder if Punk Buster was getting in the way of 3D Mark 2000. That is possible. Well, that'd be awfully lame if all of a sudden 3D Mark 2000 doesn't run. That'd be awfully lame.
I'd be awfully lame. Kind of am.
I wouldn't know why it wasn't running either. I don't get it. It's got a high priority already.
What?
Well, it's getting some CPU utilization, so maybe it's coming around. I'm gonna close 2005. Maybe for whatever reason it's just taking a minute to come around. I don't know. I'm not clearly seeing anything that would be stopping 3D Mark 2000 from running. There have been a number of applications I've seen that, for one reason or another, just don't load in XP. 2000 was running fine, though, and it usually runs fine in this. One thing I could do also, I could uninstall it and reinstall it, just to see if that changes anything.
That did a lot more than I expected.
Let's try that. Because, I mean, I have the install here still. I'll have to get the CD key still, but... Actually, let's see, I don't want to do this. I want to go to... I think it's my documents I have downloads in? Yeah. In the meantime, we'll open up Chrome here.
What if you didn't even do the thing at all?
It's all in my head.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Nah.
It's all upstairs, man.
I wish my moves didn't have 3.5 years of downtime. That'd be nice.
This is the not sexy part of benchmarking, I suppose, or any of this computer stuff. Something like that. Boom, 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 bada boom, 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 pop, pop, pop. Bow! This is also supposed to be the low-end benchmark for this system, which I really could use.
The benchmark is attempting to run the program. Rest in ravioli.
Though, to be fair, the installer did take a little while to kick off too. That might be another thing I have to look into, is why would the install shield on this particular system take a long time to work through certain processes. Cool thing to note, all the legacy 3D Mark programs are available on FutureMark's website with CD keys and all that. So you can just use that and use these benchmarks to your heart's content, man. See if that made any difference whatsoever. I mean, it's possible that it won't run for whatever reason. Because it popped up pretty quick last time, I thought.
Yeah, it didn't take long at all. Think it's got something to do with the processor?
What's up?
Think it's got something to do with the processor?
I mean, it's only a change on the system.
Yeah. This is going to be a dumb question, but was there anything else you were supposed to do in between changing the processor?
No.
No? Okay.
BIOS picked it up just fine. We're note how it's not really utilizing both threads at the same time here.
Yeah.
You have some dips in one thread, go into the other thread, so on and so forth.
Uh-huh.
So while it's at 50% utilization,
Yeah.
it's only utilizing one thread effectively.
That's what the actual problem is.
Yeah, it kind of sucks.
And sometimes it goes into Mach 3.
Here's what we'll do. I'll try to run the rest of the benchmarks here. And we'll come back to this. I might just let it sit in the background for a while. I'm going to try it again, see if anything changes. Close Chrome for now because I want to take as much load off the system as I can. And we're going to just start with 3D Mark 05. I know, Watson. I know. I know. He's always barking. Okay, new benchmark mode, da da da, cool. Let's just run it. Hope to see at least some improvements. I don't expect the whole world to change with this, because again, we have the same memory, same GPU. And the memory and stuff hasn't been adjusted or anything as far as I can tell for the chip, unless there's some automated stuff that happens.
Huh.
Pew 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 pew. Pew 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 pop. I mean, what will probably really make a difference is there anything that's going to be utilizing both of those threads. That's the biggest difference. We'll find out. And I believe the first few tests are just on the, or more testing the GPU than anything else. So we're probably not going to get a really good feel for how the CPU is improving or not until we get to the CPU tests, which I think those are the ones that are getting like 0 frames per second and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wolf, wolf. "3D Mark 05, the gamer's benchmark."
Excellent. Oh, dude, it's a little chocoboco. It's a little bird. He did a little peep.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. He's pretty good. He's good with chocobo. Little fucker. He just gets the items stuff and he's like, hey, I found a carrot. Pretty good carrot.
Can't go wrong with dumb carrots.
What's a carrot? I should get carrots.
Help the carotene levels. Yeah, get those up.
Pepperoni. Hey, 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 hey.
There's a kid we knew from school. His mom was obsessed with carrots. She would constantly she was like on this like almost all carrot diet. So she had like carotene color, like really orange joints and stuff from all the carotene and all that.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Oh yeah, she was.
Dude, that's nuts.
She was all in on that, and her kids were not happy about it.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. They were. They like to get into trouble for things too. So, yeah.
I hit him that time.
Yeah, yep. Hey, Watson.
That's a terror clone. Okay. Fight me, you monkeys. I'm cool.
We can definitely see what the GPU does in terms of making a difference on these tests. So, you know, when that's involved, we get usually above 10 frames a second instead of nothing.
Yeah.
What is it, bub?
Bark.
Bark, bark, bark.
Bark.
Roar. Fire your cannons. So I also discovered last night that Madden 18 is coming out on the PC.
Oh yeah.
So I'm thinking that's when we'll get it on. We'll have the PC version.
It's gonna be so good.
Did I tell you about my experience with NBA 2K17?
No.
It was awful.
Yeah?
Like, for someone who likes basketball and understands the game of basketball,
Mhm.
and has probably also played a few 2K games,
Mhm.
yeah, it's not too bad. But to someone who, one, doesn't understand basketball, and two, thinks the game is kind of a mess, it was an unenjoyable experience. I'm glad I got it in the Humble Monthly.
Oh, it was in a Humble Bundle?
It was in the last Humble Bundle, along with Pillars of Eternity, which I actually wanted.
Hmm.
So it was $12 for both of those, and whatever other games came with it. I didn't actually look, but yeah, it was something.
Yeah? Alright, I think this is a CPU test now.
It was nothing good, but it was something.
Not a,
That's a little better.
yeah, I mean, we're staying a little bit more above 1 frame per second. So it's starting at like a 0 straight up for a while.
At 0, yeah.
We might even get up to 2, dare I say. Now, part of the reason to check the throttles on, or the thermals on the CPU also is that if it gets so hot, it'll start throttling the CPU, thus dropping performance.
Right.
So that's another important aspect of all of this. Eventually. Roar. Come on, show me like the 2 frames per second mark somewhere here. Let's see if we can just get up to that once. Maybe something like up close to the ship or something. I don't know. Maybe.
Gee, I wish I could use these abilities, okay, but I don't have the skill points to equip them.
Vroom, 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 vroom.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, James.
You know what a great idea would be?
What's a great idea, James?
No, that sucks, because I don't know either.
Great. We're without ideas.
Rip.
Fantastic. Alright, we got one more CPU test on this. Well, 3 of our 5 benchmarks will at least run, I guess. I'll be interested to see if the Far Cry 2 benchmark actually shows some images.
Yeah, images would be nice.
Yeah. We're getting about 3 frames per second on this second one.
You know what else would be nice?
What's that, James?
James remembered to test his code.
You should remember to test your code, James.
I forgot.
What did you do, a pull request?
Yeah, I just put a comment that said, hey, don't do anything with this. I haven't tested this yet.
Yeah. Yeah, testing your code's important.
I just completely forgot about it.
Would be really good
Yeah.
is you start making unit tests that people can run in the pull request. So then part of the pull request is they run the test to make sure it runs proper on their machine and such and all that.
Well.
And then when people change that code later on, part of the development of that is to run the test after they make changes and see if it still holds.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you'll be really cooking with gas.
I'm barely cooking with anything at this point. I'm lucky to have a campfire. I'm gonna whoop your ass, Kefka. Even if you are one of my favorite villains.
My favorite.
He's funny. He's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. There's a conversation between the guy I'm playing now and Kefka. He's like, I'm just gonna take the girl and go. Kefka's like, alright, well, see you later. Wait, yo, what? So he's like watching him walk away with Tara.
Mm-hmm.
He's just great. They successfully, in Kefka, I think, managed to emulate the Joker as a character without making it feel super forced.
Mm-hmm.
Now, his outfit is super forced, but at the same time, it's fly as hell. Like, you see somebody walking up in, like, a red, feathery clown outfit, and you're like, that's pretty cool. I think he looks stupid as hell, but it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I might say something, but probably not. That man is probably insane.
We improved in 3D marks for this.
Hey, did we?
Yeah.
How
So
much?
we were at
Like 2 or something?
like 2800, I think, something like that.
Hey,
And-
Macarena.
Oh yeah, 2800 3D marks. Now we're at 3182. So that's an improvement.
You're an improvement.
That's in 2005. Cool. All right. But now, let's see if some of these games actually take advantage of having multiple threads on the processor now.
Are you kidding? Some modern games don't do that.
I know. Tell me about it. I think... well, Windows XP was running pretty smooth before, too, so that's not really anything to say. Steam, that's what I want.
Steam, more like Scream.
More like...
Beam. I will fucking laser you. Still won't do enough damage. I'm gonna knock you the next month. Hey, stop that. Nobody told you you could hit me.
I don't want any news. Alright, starting off with Lost Coast.
Why do you have better
Let's
moves
go.
than I do? Who told you you could have better moves? I'm a Navy SEAL.
You're a Navy SEAL?
I'm not actually.
I'm a Navy Dolphin.
Oh. Yeah, no, my family that was actually in were Army and Air Force. So, not a SEAL at all, actually.
I just learned all these aquatic animals.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. See, this is how much I know about seafood.
Oh, nice, nice.
Who are you?
Taking time. Benchmark. All right, video stress test. Let's see what improvements, if we see them, are here.
Improvements? More like...
Woof, woof, woof. Woof,
Yeah!
woof. Woof.
Tara, why are you telling me you're not strong? You're broken. You're dumb as hell. You're stupid.
You and your squirrely games.
Just like, hey, I'm gonna attack you. No, you're not. I'm just gonna use tornadoes for 7 years. Get right and get close to me. I implore you. Please. Make my universe.
This is running a lot smoother.
Yeah.
We are seeing improvements.
Yeah. Alright, skip cutscene. I don't care.
Another interesting thing, or I guess what I should do to look at how the thread usage would be to probably have a monitor up at some point just to look at CPU utilization. Because I imagine...
Well, you're gonna make me play this Lagoon now?
I guess because it's still one core, two different threads.
Yeah.
Commentary things, I guess.
Oh.
What that means in terms of leveraging the CPU in terms of like clock speed and all that. Like, are we just going to see thread switch, or if they're going to be threads running concurrently and they're both getting the same? I guess like you think about the measurement of a CPU in terms of clock speed and all that. Is any of that split or divided between the threads or not? Because the cores, of course, you have each core has a particular clock speed. You can overclock particular cores and things like that. But I'm not sure about threads between a single core. This hyper-threaded chip. But yeah, I mean the stress test is running a lot better. You would tell them, Watson. You tell them.
I start with that? Oh shit!
Okay, that's what we get.
We're as a
Last
crap
part?
at level 1. That's awesome.
55.16 frames per second. Let's go. All right, that's not bad, man. So we went up from 19.7 frames per second to 55. Okay. That's not bad, man. That's a big improvement.
Yeah.
Now let's see if the Far Cry 2 one runs. See here, game settings, it's at same as last time, okay. Let's launch it. See what happens.
Are they one shiny wave? Oh, that's his. I see how that works now.
I still don't see any video.
Rippers.
I mean, we'll still run it at least just to see what the frames per second are. Average. But for whatever reason, I don't know. I suppose if I feel like playing Far Cry 2, I can always look it up and see if there's anything that has to be done on XP to get it going. Ah!
Chris, what? Where did that come from?
This?
Yeah.
A pocket.
Oh.
You don't keep a micro switch in your pocket?
No.
No, I actually have it over here with my test bench.
Rip video, though.
Yeah, it's the greatest. Sounds like a very action-packed scene, full of suspense and drama.
So my favorite character isn't Dawnkrap at level 1 anymore.
Alright.
Yeah, they changed it. Because he used to just have the shield move that was awful.
Mm-hmm.
Now he has the shield move that's better, because they improved it, and he has the wave. It's super good. Yeah.
Yay.
Science.
So is it more of a fighting game or what?
It is a one-on-one fighting game.
Okay.
The PlayStation 4 version that will eventually sometime come out, that is based on the arcade box, is a 3-on-3 fighting game.
Oh, okay.
But in the same system.
Okay.
It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. No.
Cool.
I will say, though, it does suffer from the Final Fantasy problem of having a lot of fucking systems that you have to understand. From just equipping stuff and summons and assists and actual combat and ability points and your moves and your other moves and your chain moves.
With at least many Final Fantasy games, the
Yeah.
systems don't seem to correlate well together.
Yeah, this one does okay. It's
That's
not
good.
great. It's just okay.
I can see why they'd be doing it to try to have more depth of the game that way and things of that nature, but bang,
Interesting.
bang.
Bing bong.
I think this is the third run. I think. Yep. Benchmark done. Okay, results are going to be in. Looks like we're running at 22 frames. 20 frames, 19 frames. Average of 20 frames a second. Alright. 2, that's going to be 20.5. 4. That's gonna be after upgrade. I'll have to look at the chart again. What was before upgrade? Let's see here. My games, Far Cry 2, benchmarks, results. That was at 9.25. Okay. Far Cry 2 was at 9.25. Thanks for a second. That was 4 upgrade. Okay. So now, I guess we do Doom 3. Oh, did I take the discount? Why did I take the disc out? Why would I do such a thing? Oh, I know why, because I was lifting the computer up and I wanted to move it around.
Yeah.
That's why. That makes sense. Thanks,
Doom.
past Chris.
Doom 3. Well, like, Doom 3?
Did you ever play Doom 3?
No.
Okay. There was disappointment with it, I know, because of the lackluster multiplayer, and it went from more of like a horror survival sort of thing, less of the arcadey, gruesome stuff that you saw with the newest Doom.
Yeah.
I still liked it quite a bit. A lot of people still liked it, but yeah, it wasn't at the expectation that it wasn't the expectation that people were.
Yeah.
It didn't meet the expectation people had for the new Doom. That's the wording I'm looking for.
Sure.
That was back in 06, 04. 04. And just give myself a reminder what I need to actually run for this. Okay. I think it's Control Alt. Yeah, Control Alt. Hold on. It's gonna be time demo 1. Beep boop boop beep boop boop beep beep boop boop beep boop boop beep boop 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 boop. Pre-cash. Post-cash. Hey, look at that. James.
Hey, okay. Yeah, actually. Interesting.
That's what we more expect out of a benchmark.
Yeah. So, this begs the question. Is this game CPU heavy?
There's going to be probably some decent CPU utilization going on. In fact, again, we got 2 threads now. That's got to make a huge difference. And also larger cache.
Games that utilize it.
Yeah. Now, you saw the lighting effects. It did get a lot of slowdown. But I mean, there's a lot of lighting effects that are heavy in this.
That's pretty good.
So, 52.6. All right. All right. That's what I'm talking about. We've seen some differences now. So, that's going to be... Yep. Put a little comma in there, because why not? Okay, now I do want to run 3D Mark 2000. I would really like to do that. So let's see if we can figure out what's going on with it. Nope. It's going to be by, what was it, Mad Onion? Yeah, madonion.com. So I want to try to run this in compatibility mode. See if that does anything. I really don't know if it will or not. Alright, no immediate effects. I'm just going to cancel that bad boy and try to run it straight up. Let's see what happens. Hopefully it'll load. Meantime, I'm going to look up why it won't load. Because you're being a silly Billy. Computer, silly Billy. Alright. Come on. There we go, the 3.06 will not even run. I mean, it might be just this particular chip won't run it. Yeah, I don't think we might even be able to run 3D Mark 2000. So this might be what we have. So that's unfortunate, but I guess I should have ran 3D Mark 2001. Dang. My bad. Yeah. Okay. I'll leave it go for a bit just to see if it actually pops up eventually, but I have a feeling it's not going to. It might be just with the hyper-threaded nature of the chip. That's something's jacked with it. But I'm not the only one with the problem. And it's even on a lower clock speed chip. But that's it. So I guess we have successfully installed the chip and ran benchmarks, which is pretty cool. I might do some more stuff with the system tonight once James is gone and such, but yeah, I think that's going to be it for now. Just kind of a quick, messy stream to look at the computer running, but we've successfully rewritten the BIOS yesterday. Today, a chip went in just fine into the board, and we seem to have some significant improvements with some games. I mean, we jumped... I think we pretty much with the games doubled performance overall.
Yeah.
I mean, doubled performance in Far Cry 2. Half-Life 2, we over doubled our frames. Doom 3, we over doubled our frames. Like, it was a significant improvement on the system, much needed for gaming. So, very cool. But, anywho, yeah, that's going to be it for now. So, thanks, guys, for joining up and watching. For those of you who watched after the fact, thanks again. I might post up something to be a little more formal about some of the results we got. I do want to get Far Cry 2 actually showing video at some point, just to see what it looks like. Obviously, the game doesn't perform very well on this machine, because you only get about 20 frames per second still. But, anyway, that's it. Thanks. See ya.
Adios.